I think today we need to do a bit of investigative work. It's too early to get words out. Choosing a new caravan in 2026 can be a bewildering task. There's so many designs on the market at such varying prices. To hopefully help, I've compiled a list of my top 5 favourite brand new British built caravans for 2026, in addition to looking at the general design trends within the industry for the year ahead. In 5th place, I've chosen the very elegant Swift Conqueror 650L. This beastly 7.98 metre long tourer has a spacious 8-foot wide body shell and a host of new design details for 2026. We seem to be spotting a lot of L shapes this year. They seem to have really taken over the market, particularly in the 8-foot wide models. I'm quite a fan of the L shape. I think it's a very sociable lounge and gives a huge floor space. I know you've lost the chest of drawers that you would normally have in the bench seat style layout, which is more conventional, and you do have to make sure that you get the table out every time you want to sit and eat, whereas obviously the little chest of drawers has the tabletop that slides out. But to be honest, I think it's a sacrifice that I'd be willing to make just for the space and the comfort of being able to sit here and watch TV kind of like you would at home, I guess. But the new Conqueror is absolutely beautiful inside. It feels really well made, really substantial. And if I show you into the kitchen area, it just feels so plush. It's got these beautiful thick worktops, and we've got this slide out unit here, which again just elevates the practicality of these models. Obviously you could argue it's a bit of a gimmick to help sell the Caravan, but it's actually a nice practical piece of design. One of the design details that I do love that Swift are the only manufacturer to incorporate this, only British one anyway, is the stone effect in the shower. It just looks so natural and actually looks quite convincingly real. And they've actually put this unit in to give it a bit of style and flair, but it actually serves a dual purpose as being somewhere where you can store your shampoo, conditioner, etc. And I just think it elevates the shower space. So many Caravans just have a perfectly white clad shower space, which, okay, it looks very clean, but it just looks a bit boring. So I like how Swift have experimented with texture in the shower area, just to bring it to life a little bit and make it a bit more like a bathroom that you'd expect if you're having a bathroom remodeled at home. I don't know anyone who's got an all white bathroom at home, so it's certainly a nice little design detail. At the back end of the 650L, we've got the transverse island bed, and this is king size. Now this is something you've got to be careful with, because some of the higher spec vans on the market at the moment don't have a king size double bed. To me, that's a given. If you're spending nearly £50,000 on a Caravan, you need a king size bed in it. So we've got that in the Swift. We've got the dual wardrobes either side. It feels like a really big space in here, and it feels very cozy. They seem to have gone a long way with the lighting across the industry in general in recent years. And Swift are probably one of the market leaders with that, with the basis that their lights are dimmable in most cases. On a switch on the wall, are you listening, Bailey? You don't need a remote control to turn them off or on. And it just, to me, feels like a really cozy place to be. This is the Xplore XC Lite, formerly the famous Xplore 304, which has been a caravan industry staple for nearly 15 years. There's not another 3-metre foreberth on the market that quite packs in as much as the Xplore, we need to stop calling it 304, the Xplore XC Lite does. Outside, it really benefits from those new graphics and that new design detail outside. We get that barbecue point as standard. We get the dual access lockers at the front. One is a battery box and the other one goes in underneath the bunk. And again, we've got the cycle rack on the back and also got the roof mounted Wi-Fi kit. So suddenly this tiny little tourer that is on the market for just £21,995 has a lot of kit as standard. Inside, you'll see straight away why this is so popular. We've got this little dinette area at the back, which has the drop down 4th bunk. This area below converts into a single bed as well. So really it's 2 adults and 2 children, but a lot of couples buy this Caravan so they can leave the bed up at the front and have somewhere to sit and eat Although the Xplore XC Lite is a very small caravan, it certainly packs a lot in with the kitchen. We get the microwave as standard. Like I keep saying, nothing is extra on these models. Everything is included in the price. So you've got the microwave, you've got that 3-ring hob. You've also got this nice black sink that matches the black tap, and the worktop extension is part of the standard spec too. The only compromise with the XC Lite is the wet room at the back. It doesn't have a separate shower like the other models do. But what do you expect? It's only 3 meters long. This caravan, I mean, you're probably getting a sense of it on camera. This caravan is tiny, and you're going to have a compromise somewhere, but actually that towability, ease of pitching, ease of storage, and the ability to tow it with more vehicles than most caravans is just going to completely trump having a smaller washroom every time. Finally, at the front end of the Xplore XC Lite, we have that famous L-shaped lounge that's been a feature of this model for many, many years, and it just works really well. And again, that refresh of the interior looks really well in this Xplore, and it's a very cozy place to be. And this model in particular is just, I can totally understand why people love this caravan so much. I'm a big fan of compact little caravans, and as more and more people are getting electric vehicles and smaller cars with smaller engines, this is the sort of thing that we're going to see is going to be popular in the caravan industry in years to come. And like I said, this model sells so well consistently and has done for many years. So the fact that they've given it this big refresh inside and out has just helped maintain its place on the market as being a very good value for money, very earnest compact caravan. In third place, I've chosen to feature the new Bailey Phoenix Black Edition range as one of the few new, completely new designs for 2026. It's worthy of a closer look. And I've singled out the 640, which is one of the best selling models in the range, because for 2026 it's had a complete design overhaul. New body shell, new exterior graphics, new interior furniture, redesigned layouts, retweaked details and things. This is a completely new range for 2026, replacing the old Phoenix GT75, retaining all those popular layouts that we know and love, although the 762 twin axle 6-berth layout has been dropped for 2026. But these caravans still represent excellent value for money, as I'm sure you'll see when we go inside. I just love the styling update of this. It feels really fresh and modern, and for a mid-range tourer, it is a really nice overhaul. We've got this completely new front end, which filters down from the previous Alicanto and Unicorn range. So we've got an even bigger infinity window than before, and the curved front end is a much softer appearance from the front of the caravan than the previous Phoenix GT75. I just really love the styling update in here. It's probably not what I would have chosen. It's very monochromatic, but I suppose that's the theme, the black edition. But it just looks really modern and really fresh, and there's nothing really quite like it on the market. And I love in recent years how much more confidence Bailey have gained with pushing the interior design to the limit. And I've got to show you the feature in the washroom because it's unique to the 640, and I think it's absolutely fabulous. One of the biggest problems with the rear fixed island bed layout from any manufacturer is squeezing past the bed and the washroom area. Once this bed is slid forward, you can end up with not much of a gap. So for 2026 in the Bailey Phoenix, they've taken this wall in. But I hear what you're saying, why would they take space out of the washroom? Well, the answer is they haven't. It's got this new clever mechanism on the ceiling which allows the entire wall to move out to make the washroom space bigger when in use, and then when the door's closed off, it opens it up. This is the kind of innovation that I want to see in caravanning. These are the details that we as caravanners need to make us feel more infused and inspired to buy the new products. I want to see the innovation. I want to see the design move forward. And this, I know it's a small detail, but it shows that Bailey have really thought about it. And it'd be interesting to see how well this stands up to a week of people moving it to and fro. But I know that Bailey have tested it quite a lot, because they are one of the only manufacturers, and their only British manufacturer, that genuinely does embark on an extensive research and development campaign for all their new tourers. So I know that they have already tested this feature, but it'd be interesting to see how it stacks up in the real world, because I think it's a fabulous design detail. Bailey do spend a lot of time tweaking the kitchen designs. It's the one thing that we see evolves most years in the various products as they get the facelifts and things. And for 2026, that's no exception with the Black Edition Phoenix. And we've gone from the white units that we had in the GT75 to now we've brought the wood grain back. So it's flipped the other way. And the Black Edition accents, such as the handles, the catches, and this new tap, just help emphasize the design theme of this Caravan. I particularly like the large drawer here with a sliding cutlery tray that allows for access underneath. That's been a clever multifunctional design. And you might be wondering why that drawer isn't very deep, and that's because the gas bottles for the Bailey Phoenix are actually stored behind here, that you can only access from the outside. So the result is we actually have a really deep kitchen unit with lots of workspace, and again, they've engineered as much space out of it as they can, even including the worktop extension as standard now, which in the previous models it was an optional extra. I know it was because pretty much everyone who bought one ordered one. So it's nice to see that included as standard. Bailey listening to consumer feedback there. We also get the microwave as standard, which is a plateless one, so you don't have to remember to take the glass plate out before traveling. And I love the backsplash. I love the backsplash in here that hides the blind unit in the wall. It just looks modern, it looks smart. And if you didn't have enough space on this side, on the opposite side, where we'll find the Dometic fridge down below like so, we've got this extra bit of worktop here. And previously, if you're familiar with the Bailey Phoenix, they had this sort of station for putting the Sonos speaker, which still comes with the Caravan, by the way, but it was a bit style over substance. It took away from the worktop area, so they've got rid of that this year, replaced it with a very handy little shelf. We've got more handy shelves up here, and this extra little cupboard, and a soft shut as well. Wow. So they're really thinking about the small details, which is nice to see as usual. And I have to say, the fit and finish does feel very good in here. Again, this Bailey Phoenix is a lovely place to sit. And the bedroom certainly feels really spacious and modern. Again, it's kind of got a bit of a modern hotel city vibe going on in here, and I definitely applaud it. It's lovely to see manufacturers run away from the beige topia new build house theme that has been just the industry standard for so many years, and suddenly we've got something that's a bit modern, a bit fresh. And I don't know, time will tell how this will age. I don't know if we'll look back on this in a few years and think, did it look old-fashioned or dated? I don't know. I'd just rather see manufacturers move with current design trends and make their Caravans a bit more interesting, which Bailey have certainly done with the Phoenix Black Edition. At the top of the tree, we have the Coachman Lusso II. This is the most expensive Caravan on the market by a British manufacturer at the moment, and the Lusso II has been strangely hugely popular despite its near £54,000 price tag. Wow. But you do get a lot of kit for your money, and I'm told for 2026 there's been a bit of a styling update inside, and outside it looks like a very conventional Caravan to me, but I'm told the interior is really where it's at, so let's go take a closer look. Oh my God. This is like a luxury boutique hotel on wheels. I mean, I've been in the previous Coachman Lusso II, but wow. I mean, look at the paneling on the walls. Look at the new cupboards. It's, I could live in this. It's absolutely amazing. And I guess looks can be a bit deceiving, because outside I wasn't really getting the vibe that this was a £54,000 Caravan, but in here, wow, it is absolutely amazing. From these really thick worktops. They're is it called Corian or something? It's kind of, it's probably not that because that's very heavy, but that's what it looks like at least. And this huge inset piece for the sink. I mean, look how thick that is. It's just amazing. Love the bedroom, love all the space it's got. They've used the trick of taking the wardrobes out from either side of the bed, which I'm a really big fan of. Just it makes it feel so much more spacious and homely. And the bit that you can't tell on camera is, as I'm walking up and down, the carpet feels so spongy. It feels like you're just falling into it. It's so luxurious, and it needs to be for what it costs, but I'm really beginning to see the justification in this cost, because this Caravan is really something special. At the front end of the Lusso II, we've got this L shape, and strangely, unlike every other L shape at the moment, we don't have a media wall, and I have to say, I love that. I do quite like the media wall, and I like the sort of the focus on the TV, but Coachman at least give you the option of you can still have the window to look out. And it's only now I've sat in a model with the L shape, with the window, that I kind of think that it's missing in some of the other Caravans that we've seen. But this is just, oh. I certainly can see why people like these so much. It's just so comfortable, cozy. It feels like you just cocooned in this luxurious Caravan. That to me is akin to a luxury hotel escape. This is so far from my regular ideals of caravanning. It's crazy, but I can appreciate it and totally understand why people would love it. It's no secret that the cost of caravanning has risen quite sharply in recent years, and we're seeing an all-time slump in caravan sales at the moment. And for 2026, there is one manufacturer that's doing something about that. And they've actually produced the cheapest Caravan on the market in the UK. The Sprite Alpine 4 is my #1 new British Caravan for 2026. Why? Because it marks an attempt to lessen the cost of caravanning and provide a much needed entry point for young couples and families without going down the cliched outdoorsy route for a budget caravan. At just £20,995 on the road, it's the cheapest fixed bed 4-berth Caravan on the market in 2026. So how have Swift produced this Caravan for the price that it is? I think we need to take a closer look, because the first thing I noticed is that at the hitch at the front, it doesn't come with a stabiliser hitch. Now, it is an option, you can have one fitted, but straight away that saves several £100s on the cost of the Caravan. Do you need a stabiliser hitch? I'm talking as someone who tows a variety of Caravans that are too old to have a stabiliser hitch fitted, and I'm telling you, if it's loaded properly and you matched to a good tow car, no, I cannot envisage that being a problem at all. And I've seen a little bit of criticism online for that. Some people saying that they feel like that might be a step too far. I just need to assure you that if the Caravan is loaded properly, and if Swift have done their bit in the design department, which I'm assuming they have, to ensure that it's a nicely balanced Caravan, that's not going to be an issue at all. But apart from that, there's nothing else to give it away. I mean, it doesn't have the Alco ATC trailer control. Again, it's an option. You can have it if you want. So if you're a first-time caravanner and you're a bit nervous about taking to the road, you might want to tick the option for the Alco ATC trailer control and the stabiliser hitch, just for peace of mind. The point is, it's all available. You can have it fitted, but the old Sprite range didn't have ATC anyway. I think it might have been an option back then. Swift changed their options and offerings quite regularly. I actually quite like this idea of starting with the basic Caravan and adding in the bits that you need along the way. But yeah, apart from the stabiliser hitch, there's nothing else about the exterior that particularly gives away its £21,000 price, because this is now cheaper than the old Alpine 4 was. But elsewhere on the Caravan, there isn't a TV aerial, so they've saved some money there as well. And there is no Alco ATC wheel lock receiver, which again, not the end of the world. These are things that actually cost the manufacturer a lot of money to supply and fit. And if you're not going to reap the benefits of that, I mean, we don't use a TV aerial in our Caravan. We're streaming things like most people do. So actually, Swift beginning to logically think through what they offer on the Caravan to just streamline that price to make it a more attractive package. And it really is an attractive package. No jokes, please. It's a really nice looking Caravan, and I love the soft grey sides with the new very bold dark graphics. It just doesn't scream basic Caravan to me. It looks a little bit more elevated than that. Just to put this model into context, it is slightly cheaper than the Bailey Discovery. It's quite a lot cheaper than the Bailey Discovery D44, which is their fixed bed model. It's also almost the same price, slightly less than the Xplore XC range. Certainly if you were putting this against the XC Quad, which is their fixed bed equivalent, which isn't a fair comparison because the XC Quad is a transverse island bed, whereas this is a corner French bed. It's a very compact Caravan, this Sprite Alpine, but it's nearly £5,000 less. And I know the Xplore has tons of kit and spec, but actually as a Caravan to sit in, aesthetically, it's really, really nice. I'm glad that they stuck with curtains, because these curtains are actually some of the nicest curtains I've seen at the show. They're very contemporary. It's very sort of Scandi vibes in here, without being an assault of beige. That's no shade to any of the other manufacturers. We've got this lovely sort of speckled upholstery, which is very similar to what we saw in the high-end Coachman. I've got to be honest, the more I look at the new budget Sprite, I just can't believe it's a budget Caravan. This kitchen to me looks like a perfectly normal kitchen. Again, the only thing that gives it away for being a cheaper Caravan is the fact that it's got the combination oven and grill and only 3 burners at the top. But again, how much more do you need? I've never used the oven and grill at the same time, so I don't know why all these British Caravans insist on fitting these huge, heavy oven units for something that you're probably not going to use that much. The only omission elsewhere is the microwave, but again, it's an option. You can have one. Personally, we would never use the microwave in the Caravan, so I'm quite glad to see that it doesn't have one, because as a family of 4 using this, I would certainly welcome this extra cupboard space. But everything, the fit, the finish, the feel, all the catches and things, we've even got this nice wooden utensil drawer, it all feels good quality. It doesn't feel like a basic Caravan at all. And I think this kitchen is actually a very practical, workable kitchen. We've got this lovely big round sink, then there'll be a removable drainer to go on the side, but there's actually a decent amount of worktop space. There's no worktop extension at the end, but I just don't really think that you need it. It's a pretty decent space. And yeah, if you can't tell, I'm quite impressed. Opposite the kitchen, we've got a lovely big wardrobe area. And again, for 4 people in a compact Caravan, this space is absolutely huge. It's really practical space, and there's loads of room for storing everything that you would need for a holiday, even with a family of 4. Another little cost saving measure is there's no concertina blind here. Instead, you've got a proper curtain. And I'm sorry, if you've not seen the concertina blinds that the British Caravan industry loves, they remind me of the curtains that the NHS use around hospital beds. They look so cheap, and for some reason they only come in hearing aid beige. So actually, although this curtain is a cost cutting measure, to me it looks a bit more elevated than those flimsy little concertina curtain things. So again, doesn't really look like it's a cheap Caravan. I'm quite a fan of that, I have to admit. At the back end of the Alpine, we've got the fixed bed, and this is what we call a French bed. So it's against the wall, is the definition of a French bed. So one of you does have to climb over the other one if you're getting up in the night. I can't really critique this because this Caravan is just less than 5 meters long overall, so technically by modern standards it's a compact Caravan, and squeezing in a fixed bed and the big kitchen and the lounge at the front into such a small body shell is no mean feat. So I think Swift have done really well. We've actually got the Duvet mattress in here. I don't think there's a mattress upgrade available because this is actually a really comfortable mattress. Swift have managed to save costs on some of the things that you might not use, but it's nice to see that they've not skimped on the things that matter, like the comfort of the mattress, and again with the upholstery like I mentioned. The only compromise with this particular model is the washroom arrangement, which, like I said, it's the limitations of the size they've got. So the sink is actually in the corner of the bedroom. It's giving 1950s B&B at the seafront, if I'm honest, but it works, it's practical. And then we've got a combination wet room at the back, which incorporates the shower and the toilet. And, you know, despite, again, being a budget caravan, it's still got the Truma Combi heating system. So we've got blown air heating, and hot water, works on gas and electric. So, you know, overall, I think the Alpine 4 is a very compact caravan, but it kind of just has everything in that you need. So there we have it, my top 5 new British caravans for 2026. Do you agree with my choices? Have you got another model that you'd recommend instead? Let us know in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and feel free to subscribe to this channel for more caravanning content. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.